Walk through a forest quietly enough and something strange begins to happen. The birds go silent. A deer vanishes into the trees. A squirrel freezes, then disappears. Even animals that have never once been hunted by a human often react to us as though we're among the most dangerous creatures on the planet. In many ways, that's exactly what we are. But why? Humans don't have claws. We're not fast. Most animals could outrun us without breaking a sweat. Yet, from elephants to rabbits, from wolves to whales, countless species show signs of stress, caution, or outright terror when people are nearby. To understand why, we need to examine one of the most unusual relationships in the natural world. Because humans aren't just predators. We're something far stranger. Let's start with a basic principle of evolution. Animals that fail to recognize danger tend not to survive very long. Over millions of years, natural selection has consistently favored individuals that identify threats quickly and respond appropriately. That's why deer instinctively react to wolves, why birds scatter at the sight of a hawk, and why fish dart away from larger fish. Fear is a survival tool. The animals cautious enough to flee lived long enough to reproduce. The ones that weren't often became someone else's meal. But humans introduced a unique problem into this equation. Most predators specialize. Lions hunt certain prey. Owls focus on small mammals. Sharks target specific animals. Humans, however, hunt almost everything. Throughout history, people have pursued mammals, birds, reptiles, and fish, including animals far larger than themselves. Very few species were ever completely safe from us. Unlike other predators, we don't follow the usual rules either. A lion generally hunts when hungry. A wolf pack has physical limitations. A crocodile can only attack animals that come within reach. Humans, by contrast, hunt from a distance. We use traps. We cooperate in large numbers. We can pursue prey for hours on end. And over time, we develop tools capable of killing animals that would easily defeat us in any direct confrontation. From wildlife's perspective, humans became a predator that was almost impossible to predict and nearly impossible to escape. Scientists have a term for this, the superpredator effect. Studies have found that many mammals react more intensely to humans than to their natural predators. In one series of experiments, researchers played recordings of different sounds to wild animals. When animals heard wolves, they became alert. When they heard bears, they showed caution. But when they heard human voices, their reactions were often even stronger. Some species abandoned food sources entirely. Others fled without hesitation. Why such an extreme response? Partly because of history. Consider North America. When humans first arrived thousands of years ago, the continent was home to giant ground sloths, mammoths, mastodons, giant beavers, and dozens of other large animals. Many disappeared not long after humans spread across the landscape. The precise causes are still debated, but hunting is widely believed to have played a significant role in several of those extinctions. The same pattern appears across much of the world. Again and again, animals encountered humans and suffered losses unlike anything other predators had caused. Evolution tends to notice patterns like that. Over generations, individuals that treated humans as dangerous had a better chance of surviving and passing on their genes. But evolution isn't the whole story. Animals can also learn. A deer doesn't need thousands of years of inherited instinct to figure out that humans are dangerous. A single frightening encounter may be enough. Researchers have found that many animals quickly associate people with danger, and that some even pass this knowledge on. Crows, for instance, can recognize individual human faces and appear to communicate information about threatening individuals to other crows. Certain primates learn which humans pose a risk and adjust their behavior accordingly. Elephants can distinguish between different groups of people based on appearance, scent, and sound. Animals aren't simply born fearing us. Many of them gather evidence. And the evidence, historically, has not been reassuring. What's especially striking is that fear of humans persists even in places where hunting has largely stopped. National parks offer a fascinating case study. Many animals living within protected areas have never been directly harmed by a human being, yet they remain cautious. This likely comes down to something evolutionarily simple. Running away unnecessarily costs relatively little. Failing to run when danger is real can cost everything. Natural selection tends to favor caution, and humans have firmly earned their place on the list of things worth being cautious about. There's also something else that makes humans uniquely intimidating. Most predators target the vulnerable, the old, the sick, the young, the injured. Humans often don't follow that pattern. We've historically hunted large, healthy adults. Beyond that, we build roads through habitats, cut down forests, alter rivers, introduce noise, light, and machinery. Even without actively hunting, humans can fundamentally reshape entire ecosystems. To many animals, we don't just represent a predator. We represent a force capable of transforming the world itself. Researchers call this altered state the landscape of fear. Animals may avoid certain areas, feed less frequently, become more vigilant, or shift their schedules simply because humans are present. Some species have even become more nocturnal, specifically to reduce contact with people. They aren't necessarily responding to a direct attack. They're responding to perceived risk. And perception, in the wild, can be just as powerful as reality. Not all animals fear humans equally. Urban species, pigeons, squirrels, foxes, have grown remarkably comfortable around us over time. Fear adjusts to experience. But even these animals maintain boundaries, move too quickly, act too unpredictably, or push too close, and the caution immediately returns. Because deep down, for most animals, wariness around humans still makes sense. And given our history, it's hard to argue they're wrong.